Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is Nomadland. Okay, so here we are. This is the Best Picture winner. Nomadland is finally out in the UK, so I can finally watch it. Only a week or so after the Oscars happened. This is directed by Chloe Zhao, who's the first Asian woman to ever win Best Director and to direct a Best Picture winning film. I think she's only the second woman to ever do it, and I think the second Asian to ever do it behind Bong Joon-ho. I don't know too much about the story. I know Frances McDormand is the main actress, and she's great. She was great in Three Billboards and other things. I believe it has something to do with homelessness. That kind of comes with, the title Nomad. So she's like a homeless person who's traveling around. That's the only sense of like a plot or a story that I have. I'm just excited to get into this. This is the first film I've seen that's been directed by Chloe Zhao, and she has some upcoming projects that I'm really excited for. The Eternals in the MCU. I can't wait for that. I imagine they might release a trailer for that soon to kind of ride this hype wave off of Nomadland. Before we get into it, make sure to check out the Patreon. Over there you'll find a full-length timer-based reaction, you'll find polls to upcoming movies, and you'll have 1 week early access. Okay. So is this a true story then? She's like packing away all of her things. Someone's coat? Like a son or a husband or something?
You take care of yourself.
Is she off to live in her van? Live a nomad lifestyle? It makes me think of like all these van life YouTubers who have huge expensive setups in their vans, but that's not the reality for most people. They can't afford that. So people are just getting by. Amazon. Oh, is she working at Amazon? I used to do night shifts at Amazon and it was hell. I hated it. I'm getting PTSD just looking at this. Oh, bad packing. And I did it during the pandemic. We could even sit on tables like this at lunch. We had individual tables sitting on your own. I did night shifts as well, 6 p.m. till 4 a.m. 55-hour weeks sometimes during the Christmas rush. But night shifts just take it out of you. It seems like she was doing day shifts though.
I'm gonna keep it that way. I wanted to build the bed up so I could have storage underneath.
Yeah.
These storage drawers.
It's important to maximize like your storage. Doing picking now. You had to do 300 items an hour if you're doing picking, and if you're packing, it's 100 items. You have to pack something in 30 seconds, just about.
You need a place to stay. You can come over and stay with us. We're worried about you. Thanks. Don't worry about me.
She probably doesn't want help. You know, a lot of people, they want to try and make it on their own. Asking for help can be a problem.
No, I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless. That's the same thing, right?
No.
Don't worry about me. I'm okay.
Okay.
It must be cold in there because it looks like quite a snowy area that she lives.
And I thought about suicide, and I decided I was gonna go buy a bottle of booze, turn on the propane stove, I was gonna light a cigarette, and I was gonna blow us all up.
That's all up.
And I looked at my
Multiple people.
trusting dogs.
Oh, dogs.
I just couldn't do that to them. And I thought, well, I can't do that to me either. Her and I had worked my whole life. I'd worked since I was 12 years old, raised 2 daughters. I couldn't believe it.
Carl had a stroke.
Is he dead?
No. His dog, yeah.
And he left the dog.
They couldn't take him. Would you like to have him?
Is she gonna take the dog?
It's really cold here at night. Yeah, really cold. I can tell.
Yeah, dealing with the cold sounds like it's a big issue. Because it's not well insulated, a van, unless you've properly kitted it out. Now she's down south, somewhere warmer. I'd much rather be somewhere warmer. This music is really nice. Yeah, I don't know how people can live in really cold conditions like that. I just couldn't do it. It's just miserable.
We not only accept the tyranny of the dollar, the tyranny of the marketplace, we embrace it. And economic times are changing. And so my goal is to get the lifeboats out and get as many people into the lifeboats as I can.
I'm a Vietnam vet, and I got PTSD. I can live out here and be at peace.
Of course, he's a vet as well. The vets get treated horribly once they come back. So many homeless people are vets.
And he told me before he died, just don't waste any time, bro. Don't waste any time.
And you just need to live your life.
I retired as soon as I could. I didn't want my sailboat to be in the driveway when I died.
The system fails so many people.
You gotta learn how to take care of your own shit. Most of us in this lifestyle use a 5-gallon bucket.
It's like a training camp for everyone how to live a van life.
Did you take resumes? I'll leave it with you, just in case.
Just go on. No, just
Go online?
Yeah.
Got to do it all online. If you don't have a computer to be able to apply online, it can be even tougher. Yeah, it's a completely different lifestyle if you were living in an RV like this than just out the back of a van. Hard after losing a spouse to kind of get back into dating and everything.
Go change it.
I don't have a spare.
You don't have a spare? You can die out here. You're out in the wilderness.
You need to be prepared, yeah.
You can die out here.
Hard to get medical treatment when you're out here. And America as well, you gotta pay.
Doctors told me that I had cancer removed from my lung a while back and small cell carcinoma, and they told me it's spread to my brain, and they've only given me 7 or 8 months to live.
That's why she's selling all her stuff.
Alaska again because of some good memories, and
This trip's like her last hurrah.
do what I have to do. I have this book called Final Exit by Dr. Kevorkian. Some people call him Dr. Death. And it's like various ways that you can end your life if you need to.
It's a tough topic. Some people, they don't want to spend their life in a hospital, and like, is it ethical to euthanize? You know, like consensual. That felt like it was so natural. It was like it was a documentary filming her instead of acting. I don't know.
Maybe when I die, my friends will gather around a fire and toss a rock into the fire in memory.
People have talked about the directing in this, and I don't know if it's like, are all of the nomads actual people that, so it's like half documentary, half fictional, with Frances McDormand being like an observer. I need to research it more before I do a discussion at the end. Oh, I hate moths.
Where do you want this?
Fern, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Go over there.
These were her plates, weren't they?
I'm gonna go to the beet harvest in Nebraska.
It's like you have to be constantly hunting for jobs.
Yeah, I did that last year. I can see if they have another opening.
Oh no, I was really squeezing my arm a lot.
That's me. Look at his eye.
Yeah, he wants you. He wants you now.
Is there like a relationship blossoming here? But she's just an actor and he's... I want to know how much of this is real. Did Frances McDormand and Chloe Zhao go nomadic while they were doing this? It's just hard to know at the moment how authentic it really is.
I guess I just forgot how to be a dad.
Don't think about it too much, Dave. Just go. Be a grandfather.
If you can't be a good dad, could be a good grandfather. Ah, it's the swallows, like she was saying. And there's a lot of random costs that can just come up, and costs you don't think about. You know, you're saving money by not having to pay rent or anything, but you still have to pay to park in places, and then repairs. These montages are really beautiful. And it just stops like that. Oh, Dave's.
Hi.
Is this baby born?
Well, this is a really nice place, Dave.
You can stay. Yeah, I meant stay longer, Fern.
He wants her to stay with him. And then back to Amazon.
You sure you don't need any of this stuff?
No, don't need any of it. I'm good. I'm not gonna miss one thing.
Oh, that was all in a storage locker.
Well,
it was like she was holding on to what was left of Bo. Now she's finally letting it go. This is the abandoned factory where Bo works. Edited by Chloe as well. Oh, based on a book. Okay, so that was Nomadland. I really enjoyed it. I think between everything I've seen, if I was in charge, I think Minari should have got Best Picture. This was still really well made, really well crafted, but I feel like just kind of it didn't resonate as emotionally for me as Minari did. Or there's a lot of similarities between all of the Best Picture winners this year, really. So after doing some more research, I found out that yes, some of these people are actual nomads. So it seems like Frances McDormand was the only actress here. And I'd be really interested to see kind of some behind the scenes and see how much is true, how much is the story, you know, how it was made. Because there's plot threads like Bern going to see her sister. So her sister had to have been an actress. But then like Linda, May and Swanky, they were real nomads, and David as well, he was a real nomad. But then like were his family, his real family as well? I don't know, I want to know kind of more details on everything, you know? I mean, what this and Minari do, they both portray poverty really well, and you know, they don't demonize it, they don't idolize it either. There was some romanticization here, but it was mainly romanticizing nature more than it was romanticizing van life, you know. And seeing this, there's so many YouTubers and things that live out of vans, and that's not the reality for most people. It shows this kind of disconnect, this kind of class disconnect between rich van livers, who, you know, they get out of van fully and they just road trip and maybe can stay in hotels and they just eat out all the time, and then people who are forced to live in vans because that's all they can afford. It does feel like there's a contradiction here, because Frances McDormand is an actress. You know, if they were trying to portray van life the best way they could, I know originally Linda May was supposed to be the main character, and this is all based on a book as well. So it's just like, how well were the nomads paid to be in this? Was Frances McDormand, how much was she paid? And there's a lot of ethical questions and contradictions here with Hollywood. You know, Hollywood, they'll make a movie about something but won't actually do anything to change it. I'm not saying that Frances McDormand or Chloe Zhao haven't done anything. I don't know, you know, how much they were paid, if they've done things, if they were helping out these families. You know, Linda May, she left the movie like halfway through to go and to this plot of land. I'm like, and part of me thinks like, did she buy this plot of land with money that she got from being in this movie? I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have that I just want to know more about the movie, you know? Look up who did the music, because it reminded me a lot of Lady Bird. So the music, Ludwiko Inardi. Okay, so it's different. Yeah. Okay, so McDormand and Zhao both lived out of vans while they were producing this. I wonder how big the production actually is, if it was like just those two and it's very documentary like. I have so many questions about this because there's a cinematographer credited here, so, you know, how big was the team really? But then there's all of these real nomads who are in the movie. It's the real nomads who kind of give life to this. There's this great scene where Swanky was talking about how she didn't have long left to live, and she was talking about this moment with the sparrows and the reflection of them in the water and how it felt like she was flying. That was a really kind of human and earnest moment that just resonated really well. I really love that moment. In The Sound of Metal, they talked about these moments of God, and I feel like that this does a great job of taking these slow moments where, you know, it's just someone speaking and then they have some beautiful music and cinematography over it, and it just immerses you in. Those moments are really great in this. Yeah, so there was this moment towards the end where Fern was reciting her like wedding poem. It reminded me so much of this moment that I love from Lady Bird, where she's talking about how much she loves Sacramento and the music is building over it. These moments I really love in cinema, where it can just capture life so beautifully. I think that's what this movie does really well. There's a lot of different types of movies, and this is one where it's not very plot driven or story driven. You know, people just wander and things happen, and the story is just following life and portraying life in an earnest and sincere way. And with this type of movie, it is hard to capture audiences and to immerse people. And I think for some of this I was immersed, but some other bits I wasn't as much. You know, it's a very difficult thing to get right. And it makes me excited to see what Chloe Zhao does with the Eternals, because, you know, by the nature of being a superhero movie, it needs to be a lot more plot driven and a lot more story focused. Although, because it's like an ensemble cast, the character is a big thing, and this was very character focused, you know, although they were real people, they weren't characters. Yeah, I think with how this portrays poverty, it kind of shows the cycle. This and Minari, they both portray like the American dream, but it's kind of like the failings of the American dream, showing how the system is failing people. Because here Bob, he was talking about the dollar and how everyone's the slave to the dollar. You know, when she was like working at Amazon, she was just trying to make ends meet. And as I mentioned in the reaction, I worked for Amazon. I worked for Amazon for 3 months. And during those 3 months, I worked 40-hour weeks. And then for the Christmas period, for a month, I worked 55-hour weeks. And I earned the same in those 3 months as Jeff Bezos earns in 4 seconds. It's just this huge disparity in the world. It's something I'm really passionate about, how different people's lives are. You know, I'm quite lucky to live where I do. I've got quite a nice house. I'm lucky to be born here, but some people aren't. And why should people be punished just for the situation that they are born into? And again, I bring up this contradiction between Hollywood. It's important to tell these stories. It raises awareness, but it doesn't do anything practical to change anything. I don't want to get like too political, but I'm big into the idea of universal basic income, you know, taxing Amazon and Coca-Cola and Disney, all these companies that make millions and millions and millions. It's just it's an unfairness. Frances McDormand's acting here was great, but where the movie really shines is these moments where the actual nomads can just be real and talk about life, like when Bob was talking about his son right at the end there, or when Swanky was talking about you know, how her life's coming to an end. Those are when this movie really shines. And this kind of hybrid documentary kind of story, it can work quite well. But I do think it also has downsides, because you don't know where the truth starts and the fiction ends. So some things, you don't know whether to believe them or not. If you're not fully immersed in the movie, then you start questioning, like, oh, this is a lovely moment, but it's fake, or actually is it real? There's some conflict there with this kind of type of movie. Okay, I think that's what I wanted to say on this. Next week, I think I'm going to do potentially Hunt for the Wilder People. I want to do something a bit more light-hearted. That's one of kind of my comfort movies, because all of these movies that I've been doing have been very heavy, talking about very tough subjects. So I thought I'll do something light-hearted. Then after that, I'm going to do Prince of Egypt, which was a fan request. So if you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment your thoughts. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.